either privatization or commercialization are also listed under the ICRC Act for concession. Now, if you are, and what normally happens is, these foreign investors, they engage some of us to advise them on our laws before they invest. Now, if you are asked by an investor, which organ of government regulates PPP? Are you going to say BPE or are you going to say ICRC? But ICRC has cured one major defect in the sense that it provides in Section 1 that from the commencement of this act, any ministry, department, agency engaged in the provision of infrastructure can enter into a concession or grant a concession. So the defect in laws that do not provide PPP are cured by the ICRC Act. But we are saying that because of the overlapping mandate, there's need to reconcile these two laws. Now, I'm glad that the DG of CPC is here. There's also overlapping mandate between the functions of the CPC and other agencies. Consumer protection, you have provision on that in the Electric Power Sector Reform Act. You have that in the NCC Act. You have that in some Act. You have that in NAFDAC Act. So, when it comes to issue of consumer protection, there's always a conflict between the CPC and these other laws that provide. I also found, too, that in the Minister and Mining Act, there's provision for environmental issues, which are handled by NESRA. So we are saying that when you have a body that is trying to carry out one particular service, why do you duplicate that in other organs of government? And the tax appeal tribunal is an issue that we consider. Now, before 2007, there was no such tribunal. The tribunal was created under the Federal Inland Revenue Service Act. Since its creation, there have been problems with this mandate. You look at Section 251 of the Constitution that provides that tax matters is within jurisdiction. Christy is telling me, Your Excellency, Christy is telling me that my time is up. We need to save the functions of the TAT by looking at the Constitution. We think that the TAT is a specialized court. It should be allowed to do its work. If it means amending the Constitution, we think that that should be looked into. Now, we also think that there's a need to have a forum for National Assembly and State Assemblies, something in the neighborhood of the Governor's Forum, where all these views can be articulated. For instance, we are saying that there's need for collaboration between National Assembly and State Assembly for Nigeria to score highly in the World Bank ranking. Which forum do you have to carry out that assignment? We think that, and thank God, the National Economic Council is leading now. We also think that, although we agree that National Assembly is not a member of the Council, there is one other venue where this issue of our ranking can be addressed. So we know that the problem is not essentially federal, the problem has to do with state. We will talk about taxes. Let's quickly round up by looking at the Constitution. Section 44, sub 3, deals with vesting the title to mineral, mines, and petroleum on the federal government. We are saying that while we may concede that petroleum products will be linked with federal government, mines and minerals should be taken out of the Constitution. Because if you go to states like Taraba, Plateau, Benue, where you have mines, the locals, they survive on this. These are these small investors. There should be a way of formalizing what we are doing instead of saying that they must go through the process. We think that that should be emphasized. We talked about Section 251 earlier. Section 315 deals with existing law.